How's it going, everyone? As you know, draft autumn seasonal is going on. This week it was round 7. Well, technically, this week it will be round 8 since it's Monday. It will be out in a couple of hours. But yeah, I played my round 7 game. I was able to win it, and I'm still alive in the tournament with a score of 5 wins and 2 losses. On the chopping block, yes, if I lose another game, I'll be out. But yes, still going strong, right? And I covered my round 1 to 3 games in videos, but I wasn't able to upload round 4 and 5. And I also, since as I also made a post about it, didn't have my monitor, like my monitor wasn't working, was waiting on the new one to arrive, which arrived Saturday. So yeah, I wasn't able to record round 7 and 6 games. So yeah, we're gonna go through all of these today. This is going to be a long video. I have round 4 and 5 completely recorded. I just needed to like edit and upload them, so you'll see the games live, and then we'll talk about round 6 and 7 by going over a replay. As you can see, there's a lot of Basculegion going on, hence the title. I finally figured out how to make use of this unorthodox pick I made in my draft, right? And I think it's pretty good. So yeah, let's get started. Draft Autumn Seasonal Round 4 is out. My opponent is Ultraplayer, and the one thing I noticed in their team is that they only have one Ghost Resist Darkrai. So I decided to finally bring out my unorthodox pick of the draft. Choice Scarf Adaptability Basculegion female that can spam Tera Ghost booster Shadow Balls, because the opponent, as I said, doesn't have Ghost Resist. Darkrai can get chipped down. It's not that bulky of a Pokemon. And in the end game, this Pokemon is going to sweep them. I hope so. With this, Scarf makes it so I'm faster than everything outside of other Scarf users, of course, like Scarf Rai, Scarf Rachi. For EVs, unfortunately, I am not able to go models because that would mean I don't outspeed Darkrai even if I go max here. So I am forced to go timid. So I just decided I want to outspeed an adamant Wall, so that with Scarf I can also outspeed it after it clicks like an Aqua Step, which would be really good. But rest of is just standard Surf, Flipped and Hydro Pump for coverage and momentum. The next thing I added in my team is Iron Bundle, so that I can pressure that special side for Basculegion to open up with Life Orb, Max Special Attack, Hydro Pump, Freeze, or Ice Beam. This thing can do a ton of damage to most of their team. Surprisingly, I was not sure about Iron Bundle at the start of the draft, but this Pokemon has been a star. Every round so far has been breaking the opponent's team like it's nothing. Like the coverage of Freeze Dry, Ice Beam, Hydro Pump is just incredible. And it also looks great against my opponent as they have so many Pokemon that are just weak to this coverage. Iron Bundle is going to be the breaker that will enable Basculegion to sweep. I'm running Taunt so that I can prevent Jirachi from clicking Wishes mainly. And Life Orb gives me a ton of guaranteed KOs which weren't possible without it. Like knocking out Darkrai after Stealth Rock in Hydro Pump, which is like a really good one. One Stealth Rock chip and Darkrai will be going out to a Life of Hydro Pump. It also allows me to knock out a max HP Enamorous in Ice Beam. Otherwise, if I didn't have Life Orb, then there was like a 97 to something roll. The next thing is the main Darkrai check, because that Pokemon is a threat with Nasty Plot and stuff. It could be super annoying. So yeah, Spadef Tinkaton, that is EV to outspeed. No speed guard jump, like a defensive jump mainly. Didn't really need any speed tier for this team because most of their Pokemon are generally faster than my team, and that are not, they're like super slow, like Arbok and Enamorous. I don't really need to outspeed them. Stealth Rock, Thunder Wave because it's a good move, and finally knock off so that I can just knock items, generally knock off Helmet or knock off leftovers from Jirachi and stuff. Covert Cloak is there so that Jirachi mainly cannot flinch me, but it also helps against Darkrai flinching and Rotom Fan flinching with Air Slash, which is pretty cool. Next Pokemon is a defensive Rocky Helmet Arbok, because obviously I needed an Ogre Punch check. Gunk Shot is Stab, Dragon Tail so that I can phase out like Wall that may try to get Moxie Boost or just may try to set up with Swords Dance. Glare is always nice to have. And finally T-Spike, because despite them having Arbok, I think it would be really cool because they will not be using boots on the likes of Darkrai and Wall. And also they have ogre pawn, so they will be constantly pressured to actually remove T-spikes. And if they don't break Arbok, it would be amazing because their only removal is Quaker Wall, and I'm running a ghost type to block spin anyway. Next up is a offensive Great Tusk with 4 attacks, and this is mainly for rapid spin because opponent has Garchomp and Arbok, so they will also be getting their own hazards up. So I wanted a guaranteed removal because the opponent doesn't have any ghost type, surprisingly, even though they're running a hazard stack kinda with Garchomp. So yeah, spinning would be super easy. So I wanted to make sure I am getting that spin whenever I need it. That's why I added boots so that I don't have to worry about spikes damage, T-spikes or anything like that. And yeah, standard offensive coverage with Stone Edge being the final move so that I just am able to hit like Enamorus and Rotom Fan more super effectively. I think it gets a KO on offensive Rotom Fan, which is pretty cool too. Finally, I added a Rotom Mow because first I needed a ground immunity, and I didn't think Mandibus would be that great because of just their team just being super good against it, like Enamorus, Ogerpon, Rotom Fan, Darkrai having Ice Beam and stuff. So I figured Rotom Mow will be a little better. It will also help me against Quaker Wall, the one Pokemon I'm kind of worried about. Running a offensive kind of weird Rotom Mow set, it's evil enough to outspeed a jolly Quaker Wall. This mainly is checking. This also helps with the core of Basculegion and Iron Bundle pressuring the special side. I didn't really have an item in mind, so I figured Citrus Berry would be cool, being able to take an extra hit from the like Jirachi or Quaker Wall once it activates. So yeah, this is the team and let's get started. Alright, so they have 2 Tera users, Tera Flying on the Quake and Tera Rock Ogerpon obviously. You do. They did not bring Arbok, which is really good. That means I get to go for T-Spikes. So, I mean, I really like Bundle as the lead. I think it just does a lot here. Though Ogerpon would be a problem as the lead, I guess. But other than that, I should be good. But I can always go Arbok on the Ogerpon. If anything else is the lead, I'll like to lead Bundle anyway. It's Darkrai. Okay. Could be Scarfry. I think it's best if I just go Tink here. Instead of taking damage on this, I think I can use this on like Garchomp or something and get a lot of value after just clicking Hydro Pump. I have Tinkerton for this exact mon, this and Enamorus, so it should be walling it, I guess. Should be walling it. They knocked my Covert Cloak. Okay, they're not Scarf, that's for sure. Let's get Stealth Rock up. Whisk Me, doesn't matter. Let's just T-Wave something, whether it's Jirachi or something else. Getting rocks up is really good. Paralyzing the Quake is even better. And I'm just gonna go Arbok, really. They knock, figured they would do that. Really good. And I can just Gunk Shot here, chip them down. Oh, they're bulky. Ooh, Citrus too. That's interesting. For sure. Gunk Shot. The Rapid Spun. Knocked my helmet, which does suck. Let's just go for T-Spike because they'll probably switch here. I don't see a reason for them to stay in. Okay. Oh, they have Roost. Well, that's sad. Detail. State Paralyzed, cool. Darkrai being poisoned is great. I can just go Tink again. So got some value there. Paralysis, got rid of Citrus, got this poisoned. They should not be able to touch me with much, so I can just go for Stealth Rock here. On the Quake, cool. I'd still go Arbok, I think. I don't think they would risk spinning. Yep, exactly. And let's just attack. I missed it. Maybe I should have detailed. The Rapid Spun again. Okay, T-Spikes once again. Go for that detail. The Rapid Spun again. Jirachi came out. This probably kills me. T-Spike. Try to at least. Yeah, not being able to keep T-Spike up because I just don't want to go Basculegion because Basculegion wins me the game. So you can see it wins me the game. So I don't want to go into that. I can go into it right now though probably and just Tera Ghost and Shadow Ball. seems to be doing pretty well here. Jirachi should definitely go down to adaptability. Tera Shadow Ball should be really good. I think I should have put a better. Oh, there's Scarf too themselves, but I got the KO, so that's great. I think I should have put a better move to on Arbok to hit Quake. Honestly, yeah, it didn't really work out. Like Quake just spinning on Arbok, and I didn't pay too much attention to Quake having Roost. They brought a Roost Rapid Spin Quake, which is a really good move against me with Citrus too. So like kind of crazy. Probably could have gone Basculegion, but I didn't want to risk it considering how good this mon is here. How much I take from Pulse? 15 plus Bond, that's 6, so 20. 21. I should still survive another one, I think, so I can probably go get Stealth Rock up again, hopefully. Goal is to chip Darkrai down so that this thing can clean. The Calc Dex or even the normal calculator actually messes up the Tera damage for some reason. Here, now I will add adaptability. It should do way more than that. That is wrong. That is definitely wrong. I think so. Let's remove that. No shot, it just increases by 7%. That doesn't seem right. Let's just go Tink. Deep Pulse, I do survive that. Just gonna go for Stealth Rock. No flinch, please. Thank you, lovely. And I can just go for Gigaton here. They will knock me out, but I have Iron Bundle I can go into after. And just go for a nice little freeze dry in case they want to go quick. Darkrai dies. And actually, Iron Bundle looks so good now. Because they have Tera Rock. And I think I'll just... If they go Ogerpon, I think I can just go for Hydro Pump on that. Because after Rocks, I have a chance to KO it anyway. And if they go quick, I can just freeze dry anyway. I think it would die. I might just win this game on the spot. I don't know, depending on the Enamra set, I guess. If that's like a super bulky Enam, it's Boots. Okay. Heavy duty Boots. We got, let's say, max HP. I don't see you running max def. I can knock you out. So let's just go for it. Got the KO, nice. And I think this might be over. I mean, they have no switch-ins for Shadow Ball, nor do they have much for this guy right here. Should I risk Hydro Pump? Because they Tera. They Tera, I can just go Bask, spam Shadow Ball. Tusk and Rotom can deal with Quake and Garchomp at that point, right? Yeah, I just get guaranteed damage so that Basculegion can sweep. Yeah, I don't really need to risk that. They could also try to think, oh, I want to do a 50-50. Or maybe like a mind game where I don't... Okay, yeah, they went for it. Good play. Good play. Not try to overthink. But yeah, I don't want to overthink either. Oh, that's really good. Would Rotom die there? I didn't think about Trailblaze. Okay, now I take it back. I didn't think about Trailblaze. This is a problem. I'm gonna have to go Rotom. Click Discharge. Hope I survive. Did not. Hope that Tusk survives. Dude, what the hell? Maybe they don't have Whip though. It's possible they don't have Whip, right? So I can still do something. Because they have Leech. Please kill this. Please kill this. You're a Tusk. You're a goddamn Tusk. Thank God. Thank God. I don't know. Do I kill Chomp? That's my only question. Do I kill Chomp? Or what if they're Scale Shot? Yikes, I still lose then. They're Outrage. Offensive? I don't know. I may have choked. I should have Hydro Pumped. Okay, I completely forgot about Trailblaze. And that's on me. I get it. That's on me, but I didn't put Ice Beam either. It's not like I put a KO. Okay, yeah. I guess I lose. Yep, it's over. Yeah, that did nothing. Ah, no, Trailblaze. What a bad move. Ah, it's so annoying. That was in the bag. I just made a silly mistake. I had the game in the bag. All I had to do was click Hydro Pump and... that sucks. That really sucks, but nothing I can do about it. Yeah, 2-2 now in the draft seasonal. I just hate the fact that I went back on the dawn, right? Like I just decided not to make the play I decided to do from the start. From like in the builder, I decided, okay, I'm gonna have to do this 50-50 with Ogre Pawn. I had the scenario in the mind, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna click Hydro Pump, and when it came to it, I decided not to, and I lost because of it. Yeah, that's a lesson. You should never go back on your plans. You should never go back on your plans. I did that round 1 too, where I didn't go bundle and try to bait Rillaboom in first, and just didn't trust the bundle set for the Raging Bolt, and I lost. So yeah, I've done it a second time. I'm not gonna do it a third time. I'm gonna trust my sets. My prep is good. I need to trust that. My prep is good. The situations I find are good. I just need to trust the plans I make for it. It's time for draft seasonal round 5. My opponent is Boss 381 and their draft is built around Sun. They've got Ninetales as their Sunsetter and a bunch of Sun abusers like Great Tusk, Roaring Moon, Walking Wake, Cerulege, and Slitherwing. Excluding Walking Wake, all of these abusers are physical attackers, so my first Pokemon in the team is a physically defensive Great Tusk with Rocky Helmet, so I can punish those Slitherwings, Roaring Moons, trying to click U-turn, Outrage, or even just opposing Great Tusk trying to click Ice Spin or Headlong or Rapid Spin, anything like that. I want to punish them, deal a ton of damage with an insanely high defensive stat and Body Press. Stab Body Press is gonna obliterate unboosted Pokemon like a non-bulk up Tusk is gonna take a lot. Slitherwing, even though it resists it, will take a decent amount. I mean, this defense stat is seriously high. 396 is no joke. So yeah, this is going to be a pretty good set in my opinion against them. I'm running Stealth Rock on this, as I don't think Bulk Up would be good because of the fact that they do have a Walking Wake or even a Ninetales that would like to click Solar Beam on this. So even if I knock something out, I will most likely be forced to switch out or just Revenge Kill with those two Pokemon. Following that, I'm using a Tera Fairy Raging Bolt with Thunderbolt, Thunderclap, Tera Blast, and Calm Mind, because Tera Fairy is great against a team that is abusing Walking Wake or Roaring Moon or things like that. And just Tera Blast being able to become immune to Dragon and hit them super effectively at the same time is great. It also allows me to hit Great Tusk and Slitherwing super effectively, which is going to be very helpful. And basically Fairy and Electric means they don't have any resist to the combination of these moves. I can hit everything either neutrally or super effectively, which is great. I'm running enough speed to outspeed a no speed Tusk because everything in their team is capable of outspeeding Raging Bolt. So I figured there's no point in giving speed. Next thing in my team is very interesting, or very unique I should say. It's a Light Clay Iron Bundle with Snowscape and Aurora Wave. My thought process is they most likely lead Ninetales. Even if it's not a lead, if I just ever catch a Ninetales coming in on Iron Bundle, taking a Freeze Dry or something and just getting Sun up, I can actually Snowscape, and usually Ninetales learns Weather Ball, so I will survive an Ice type Weather Ball because I resisted 4 times, which is amazing. And I'll be able to get Veil up, which is going to be really helpful in dealing with those Wakes and Roaring Moons that are just insanely powerful Pokemon, right? With just dual stab, I don't really need Ice Beam because the only thing that hits is Roaring Moon, and it still doesn't KO it from max health. Roaring Moon is just that bulky. So instead, that Freeze Dry is fine. Even if it does little damage to Moon, it will KO the Walking Wake, which is fine. And yeah, max special attack, outspeeding Roaring Moon, which is their fastest Pokemon, and rest in HP. This HP also allows me to survive a random max special attack overheat from a Ninetales. Once I click Snowscape, I will be able to survive that, which is really cool. And yeah, I'm very excited for this set. I want to see this work. Just being able to get that Veil up is going to be incredible, especially for this next Pokemon that is Tinkaton with Swords Dance and 3 attack. This Pokemon is really good against their team with all the coverage it has. Gigaton being able to hit things like Roaring Moon and Garganacl with a ton of damage. Play Rough is super effective on a bunch of stuff, and Knockoff is for Bronzong mainly, and also Cerulege because Cerulege resists both of these stab moves. Life Up makes it so that Tusk dies to a +2 Gigaton. It obviously dies to a +2 play rough, but offensive Tusk, no HP Tusk, would also die to a +2 Gigaton, which is really cool. With life orb, though I just wanted more damage. I don't think I might switch it to Shaka and Oka. Like, I am debating between a resistance berry or life orb, but I feel like if I want to really abuse the veil, I think I should go with life orb, so I'll probably stick with this. Next Pokemon is a mixed Mandibuzz. They have a ton of sweepers, mainly Cerulege. I'm very afraid of Cerulege because yeah, like that thing can be bulky, can heal with Bitter Blade. Tusk might not be enough, especially Tusk will be overwhelmed with things like Slitherwing and Roaring Moon. So I needed a better check to Cerulege. That's why we have here Iron Defense Foul Play Cerulege that can pretty much take hits and just retaliate with Foul Play, using Cerulege's own attack starts against itself. Taunt is there to prevent Bronzong or Garg or things like that, to just maybe get Stealth Rock up or just heal or anything like that, just preventing stuff from setting up even further. And yeah, I don't think I need Defog. They only have Stealth Rock in their team, and I'm pretty sure Tusk will be enough to rapid spin stuff. So yeah, that will be fine. I think I should probably go Boots in this. I did put Leftovers, but I don't think Leftovers would be good, because if they do end up bringing a Balloon Cerulege and get Stealth Rock up, then I would need these Boots. So yeah, Boots. I'm gonna go with Boots. Spadef is there to survive 2 Hydro Steams from Walking Wake outside of Sun, not in Sun. That's just gonna obliterate this thing. But just in case, if I need to, it will be fine, because I don't think I needed more defense, because this is more than enough to deal with Cerulege, especially with Iron Defense. Finally, the next Pokemon is a Forward Cloak Rotom-Mow to deal with Garg. This is going to be my primary Garg switch in, because it can damage it and knock it out with Leaf Storms, use it as a set of fodder with Nasty Blood. I'm running Max Spadef to be able to deal with Walking Wake better, because I don't really have switch-ins to that Pokemon in my team. My other Pokemon are Arbok and Basculegion, which obviously are not going to be enough to deal with a Specs Wake, especially under Sun. So yeah, this thing is going to be my answer to that. It survives a Specs Draco Meteor because of the special attack drop next turn, and it also takes two Hydro Steams under Sun from Wake, which is going to be very helpful. So yeah, this is the team, and let's get to the game. So they don't have a Ninetales, which is very surprising. My Snowscape Iron Bundle plan, is it going to work or not? We don't know yet, but definitely not expected them to not bring Ninetales, because I don't know. I don't know, maybe they did that because I have Tusk and Raging World, I can abuse Sun too, so maybe. But this does change up my plan a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. I was very certain that they would bring Sun, because you're not really using your team to the maximum potential. Well, let's see what they cooked up, I guess. Let's find out what they have cooked up. I think I still lead with Bundle. Walking Wake. Now this could be Scarf, but I could also be Scarf, so you know what? I think I'll just freeze dry. Oh, they were... to be fair, a very bad play. You don't know I'm not Scarf. You don't know I'm not Scarf. Yes, I did get lucky. I'm not saying I didn't get lucky. I would have lost Bundle. But really, when you think about it, that's such a bad play. You have no idea that I'm not Scarf or not. You were just gonna throw away a Wake. Though I did the same thing. I was gonna throw away my Bundle too. So I'm not really going to talk, but just so you know, I was trying to capitalize on the fact that they shouldn't really risk Walking Wake, but whatever, I guess. Let's go for Snowscape. I think they just Stealth Rock here. Yep. Let me get my Veil up. Sucks. It definitely sucks for them to miss Draco. Bundle would definitely have died. There's no way Bundle survives a weak Draco Meteor. There's just no way. Snow removed, not Snow, Veil. Remove Veil, and yep, that's a guaranteed KO. Yeah, they also have screens, which is kind of funny. I think I'm immediately gonna go Raging Bolt. I don't see a reason why not. Future Sight, that's completely fine. We're just gonna Calm Mind. They don't really have anything that learns Encore, so I'm not really threatened by anything. Car comes out. Okay, that can be annoying with light screen up. I do have this, but future sight is up. How much is that going to do? Oh, with veil, nothing. So I guess we go you then, for sure. Yeah, covert cloak. I think I'll just pain split here because screen's up, so I don't really want to nasty plot, especially if they go Cerulege. I think I've taken enough damage to get health back from everything here. Assault Cure again for some reason. Oh wow. Okay, light clay bronze on. That's interesting. Nasty plot. Kinda have to here. Light clay bronze on. Okay, that's it. I see. Iron defense. I'm just gonna leave Stomp here. I have no idea why they stay. Oh wow, like yeah, they can recover. Never mind. They body pressed. They could have recovered, but they decided, you know what? I'm gonna lose the guard. Sure. I mean, they could have just gone bronze on, to be fair. Okay, I'm not gonna sack this here. I have my answer in Mandible, so we're just gonna go into that. They set up, what's the Terra on this? I actually never saw that. It's Terra Fairy. So they probably want a Terra here, right? So they Terra Fairy, Terra Blast me. I will go down. I don't need Mandibus for anything else, so I think I'll just foul play here. No, if I attack, they get the speed boost. Okay, this is kind of problematic. I have to. Yeah, I'm gonna be in trouble if I give it a speed boost. I think we just sack Rotom instead. Garg's gone. I don't really need Rotom anymore. Probably should have attacked this too, but they did Terra and they Bitter Bladed, so that's good. They definitely seem to have Terra Blast. Helmet, healing. I can Gigaton, but they heal, they get health back, that's a problem. I can go Bundle, lower them, and then go Tink. Tink would survive anything. But the problem would be if they heal more than what Tink like go back in their sash range, then it's a problem, right? So I gotta check. They'll heal 49.4, like maximum from Bundle. 141, how much health do you have? 291, how much will I do? How much will I do? 174, so shouldn't be enough healing, I think, right? It shouldn't be enough healing. So I can go Bundle. And I can click Hydro Pump. Oh, crit doesn't really matter because they're gonna heal anyway. And yeah, now I can go Tink and just go for a nice Gigaton here. Tink's faster than this thing. They can Shadow Sneak if they have it, but Tink will still survive and get the KO. Now, losing Tink, Bundle, and Rotom does mean that this is fine. I can just play rough here. Because Cerulege dies to play rough, so I don't really need to worry about anything else. Yeah, this is dead. I'm just worried about Bronzong, but considering it has Future Sight Light Screen, I don't think it would be that big of a problem because it can't heal, right? So I can just chip it down with Raging Bolt, I guess. I'm gonna knock off first, knock off its Light Clay. They probably have Reflect last. They do, yeah, makes sense. Swords Dance, I guess. Great Tusk. I think I just attack here. Dealt a ton of damage there, that's pretty good. Close combat, it's not Scarf. So I can go Tusk, I can click Rapid Spin. Stealth Rock for Cerulege, I guess. I think I can just Body Press here. I mean, Bronzong's not healing. I guess it can get Reflect up, yeah. But I can knock this thing out here. I do take the Future Sight, but I won't die to that. But Cerulege is the problem, right? They have... Ooh, right, yeah. Cerulege is a big problem. I think we just Earthquake though. It seems to do enough here to put them in a Rocky Helmet range, so I guess that should be fine. The SD, the Terra Blaster, that's a good play. Mandibus can handle Tusk, that's not a problem. Just need to worry about this guy right here. So they have Terra Blast, they've showed that KOs me. So I'm gonna Terra Fairy, they're gonna Bitter Blade. They're gonna heal about 62%, 53%. And I'm doing 68. Might not be enough. Tricky. 53 plus 12, that's 63, 65. So there can be rolls, I guess. Then it will be on Thunderclap after. So I guess I click Thunderbolt first because I survived. Oh, that's great. That's great, right? Right? Unless they're banded Stone Edge, I think I win. Oh yeah, that's completely fine. Yep. No need to worry about that. No need to worry about that. I'll just Roost again, I believe. Yeah, they can crit me, but I'm still going all the way. Roost again. Nice foul play. Should be good here. Okay, perfect. Yeah. They didn't crit me. Yeah. Unfortunate miss turn 1, but I feel like they left. But yeah, I feel like did that miss matter that much? Oh wait, bundle would have died, so I wouldn't have lowered several edge. Then I would have had to go Raging Bolt to do what I did. Yeah, actually that miss did matter. That's pretty sad for them, I guess. I would have been eliminated, but I have been very lucky throughout this tournament. I think this tournament has been very rewarding and fortunate for me. Like winning a game because my opponent missed Draco Meteor turn 1 is pretty much the definition of that, right? If they had hit that, I probably would have lost. So yeah, it feels good to get lucky once in a while. Anyway, let's move on to round 6. My opponent was OhioGengar, and since we couldn't do anything with Basculegion in round 4, I decided to give this mon another try. My opponent's team, as you can see on the screen, was like pretty similar to what my round 4 player had, and that was like only a single Pokemon, that is Meowscarada, who can resist Ghost type moves. Everything else does not appreciate taking adaptability boosted Shadow Ball. So yeah, that's what I pretty much went with here. This time I was able to run Modest because there wasn't a Darkrai I need to outspeed, and 254 outspeeds Meowscarada, which is pretty good. Tera Ghost, Scarf, Adaptability, Shadow Ball, Flip Turn, Surf, Hydro Pump, pretty self-explanatory, nothing new with this. Endgame, we're just gonna come in, Tera Ghost, and spam some Shadow Balls. That's the game plan. And to make sure that happens, once again, I am pairing this with Iron Bundle, Choice Specs Iron Bundle this time, because I felt like my opponent doesn't really have too many good switches for this Pokemon. I mean, like, they have Tentacruel and Tekatan for respective water and ice moves, but I feel like Choice Specs can just heavily chip them down even if they try to take those moves, which will open up Basculegion a lot. I also built this team kind of in a rush, so like I didn't give too much thought about it. I just wanted to use Iron Bundle because this Pokemon has been incredible, right? This Pokemon has been mind-blowing. I was not expecting this Pokemon to be this good, like in breaking and stuff. Next thing I added was a physically defensive Arbok with Intimidate and Rocky Helmet, because as I said, the opponent has a Meowscarada. So the only Pokemon that would come out on Basculegion, whether I get a KO, whether it's after I get a KO or just as a switch in, and I need something as an answer because I can't be taking moves on my Tusk like Flower Drake and stuff. Intimidate Arbok with Rocky Helmet pretty much deals with Meowscarada. It can chip it down. Even if they try to knock off, they will take one pair of Rocky Helmet, and it pretty much takes every hit other than like Triple Axle. But with Intimidate, we can handle it for like a couple of turns after we go down, obviously, because this mon doesn't have recovery. T-Spikes is actually pretty good against it. I mean, they have Tentacruel, but still, like, forcing the Tentacruel to spin. I also have a spin blocker in Basculegion. I think it will be pretty good. And it's pretty much like standard Gunk Shot Glare. I had Dragon Tail so that anything like maybe like Gouging Fire or I don't know, like an Ampharos or something just tries to set up on me, I can just phase it out. It also helps in spreading T-Spike, right? Spreading poison from T-Spikes on their Pokemon like Keldeo and Meowscarada and Frostlass and stuff if they do bring Frostlass, that is. Next Pokemon I added was Tinkaton. This is also physically defensive Rocky Helmet because, as I said, Meowscarada is the only problem with this team. So I wanted to make extra sure that Meowscarada is handled, and that's why double Rocky Helmet is pretty much gonna guarantee that Meowscarada is not a problem, because Arbok will get knocked, Arbok will get chipped eventually. But then I have a Tinkaton as another answer to that Pokemon, and this is also an answer to Frostlass, which was something I was kind of worried about to some extent. Like Triple Axel Poltergeist could be annoying. Stealth Rock, Anko, T-Wave, standard stuff. Gigaton, standard stuff. Nothing fancy with this, it's just the standard. Next Pokemon in my team is a Rotom, which is specially defensive, mainly for Keldeo. They have a Keldeo which could be pretty annoying. So like especially defensive Rotom can, to some extent, can pretty much handle Keldeo. Like if it sets up, or like if it suspects, it's gonna do a lot, especially with Secret Sword. But yeah, it at least like works as a switch-in, where I can bring this out, gauge the damage, see what kind of Keldeo it is, what they're doing, and then play accordingly. Like I can go Basculegion on a Secret Sword if they're specs, if they lock themselves into. So like yeah, that helps. I just needed something as a switch-in on Keldeo. I added Reflect in case like Gouging Fire, which like pretty much can use this mon as set of fodder. It can't get burned, and with Substitute it can even avoid like T-Wave and stuff. So Reflect to help to be able to just do something against Gouging Fire, so that like I don't just switch into something and take a million chip from like I don't know, Heat Crash or whatever they run. Flare Blitz, do they run Flare Blitz? I have no idea. I have forgotten what Gouging Fire does, to be honest. I have forgotten what Gouging Fire does, but yeah, it's a broken Pokemon though. It's a broken Pokemon. Finally, I've got Boost Energy Great Tusk working as like a secondary Wincon, or just like a breaker, because their team is pretty weak to Great Tusk. Everything I can hit with Headlong. Only two things that like kind of resist it are Lando and Meowscarada, and I can hit them super effectively with Ice Spinner. So yeah, this combination is pretty good. Rapid Spin, so that I can outspeed anything like a Scarf Meow, Boost Energy, Gouging Fire, and all that. And yeah, like just standard bulk upset with Tusk to clean and chip their team down, so that Basculegion in the end can do its job. Yeah, this is the team. And now let's move on to the replay. So let's switch the views. And first of all, they did not bring Frostlass or Ampharos. I guess even though I was kind of worried about Frostlass, I'm glad to see that did not come out. I had Tusk for Ampharos though, like a ground type for Ampharos, it should have been fine. But yeah, Frostlass could have been annoying. Anyway, here I decided to turn one. I saw their team and decided to lead with Iron Bundle. It's the fastest Pokemon in my team, faster than Meowscarada. They led with Meowscarada. Now, like I don't know if it's Scarf or anything like that. I'm not Scarf. But so I decided to immediately go into my answer, that is Arbok. Like there's no point in risking Iron Bundle turn 1 when you have a dedicated answer for this Pokemon. I mean, like Arbok is literally here for this thing. If I don't use it, then what am I doing, right? What am I doing? So yeah, I switched into Arbok. They also switched into Tinkaton, revealing that they were Scarf, since like they switched first, right? I don't think I realized that at the time during the game. I don't think I realized that. I played on phone, right? Yeah, there's a difference between the level of concentration on playing on phone and playing on your PC, at least for me. Didn't notice that, but anyway, Tinkaton came out, and at this point I realized that my Arbok can't really touch Tinkaton because I have Poison and Dragon moves. So I kind of just went with Glare, paralyzed the Tinkaton, decided to get a T-Spike up as well. Even if they had attacked, they would have taken Rocky Helmet chip and stuff. Decided to go Lando. I stayed in, like that's a pretty ballsy stay in, right? But I figured like they'd wanna absorb T-Spike as soon as possible, because their team does not appreciate getting poisoned. Like 3 Mons are grounded, probably don't have boots, so like yeah, they'll be pretty worried about T-Spike. So yeah, I kind of just doubled down on that and got T-Spike up again, forcing the Tentacruel to Rapid Spin, went into Rotom. I don't know why I went into Rotom, but for some reason Tentacruel didn't end up Rapid Spinning either. I guess they expected Basculegion, right? That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. I guess they expected Basculegion, which technically walls this thing, other than like knockoff, or I guess toxic if they had it. But yeah, like Sludge Wave, I resist. Water moves, I resist. So yeah, I guess they expected Basculegion, decided to flip turn instead of spinning. I don't remember why I went Rotom on this. I guess just because I thought it would be like a water type move if anything, so Rotom will resist it. Anyway, Lando came out, clicked U-turn, I stayed in to get a free Volt Switch. As yeah, they wouldn't stay in with Lando on Rotom. Went into Great Tusk on Gouging Fire because Gouging Fire is a threat. My only good answer to this thing is Boost Energy Tusk, so I immediately went to it. Also to spin Stealth Rock as well, which I decided to do this turn. Now Lando came out, I decided to immediately Ice Spinner it, try to lower it so that Basculegion can do its job. They turned out to be Grass Knot, which is kind of crazy because they had leftovers as their item. I would not have expected it. Like, they're super physically defensive too, by the way, because Ice Spinner did like only 59. Super physically defensive with Grass Knot and with leftovers. One would think you'd have Rocky Helmet, but I guess they're running leftovers. But yeah, took a Grass Knot, survived it, got a lot of chip on Lando, and this time I decided to feel ballsy again and went with Bulk Up, expecting them to not just sack Lando like it's nothing and go Tentacruel or something like that. So I just clicked Bulk Up, and then I spinnered the next turn expecting Lando to come out because now their T-Spike is gone, so they can freely sack Lando and go into their Revenge Killer. Here I switched out. Apparently, wasn't I faster? I was faster than Meow. I don't know if Meow would have died. I don't know the calc. From like a neutral ice spinner, I don't think it would have. But yeah, like I decided to go into Arbok because, as I said, like it's my dedicated sweeper. So why not sweeper? Check to Meow's card. So why not just go into it? Decided to click Glare because I expected them to not go Tinkerton again. Got T-Spike up, they knocked my helmet. Just keep expecting Basculegion, which is funny because I never planned on using Basculegion as a rapid spin blocker, right? It's not a Pokemon that can afford to come in and take a knockoff. I don't want my Scarf to just go away, right? I would, like, my whole game plan would just go out the window if that happens. So yeah, never planned on doing that. But it's just good to have that Pokemon in the back and make the opponent feel like, oh, I'm gonna spin block. Yeah, I decided to go Iron Bundle. They clicked Rapid Spin. Like, this is the point where you just spam. Clicked Freeze Dry. Specs Freeze Dry. Broke the Tinkerton's balloon. Turned out Tinkerton took nothing from that Freeze Dry. It is super specially bulky. Got a little lucky here. As I said, I've been pretty lucky throughout this tournament as I don't know if they clicked Gigaton or Stealth Rock or T-Wave. Anything, they could have clicked anything, but yeah, if they had clicked Gigaton here and they stayed paralyzed, it's kind of unfortunate for my opponent. Not too much, but it's a little bit, right? They would have gotten a KO here. Yeah, I got a Headlong on Keldeo because of that. Free Headlong on Keldeo chipped this thing down in range of Basculegion too. So like everything is eventually getting chipped, right? Went into Rotom, they flipped turn. Rotom is my answer to Keldeo. Even if it dies, I can just go Basculegion and do something. Finally, I decided to bring out Tinkerton on the Meow as the Rocky Helmet on Arbok was knocked off. So I just brought my second Rocky Helmet user trying to chip Meowscarada down. And this is the first time Meowscarada actually took Rocky Helmet chip too. So yeah, finally. I decided to encore this Gouging Fire this turn because I knew it would be something sneaky like Substitute to avoid T-Wave or something like that. I didn't want to get swept by this Pokemon. Whether they DD'd or substituted, Encore works. They switched into Keldeo expecting Great Toss, which was a pretty good play. I decided to sack Rotom. That's my answer. They flipped turn. Didn't really knock Rotom out. Went into Meow. I once again went into Tinkerton. I think they once again... Oh, this time they knocked. Okay, yeah. Knocked the Rocky Helmet. But yeah, Meowscarada is getting chipped. That's the whole plan. I stole the Choice Scarf, unfortunately, here, which I didn't realize. When I clicked Stealth Rock, I was like, oh yeah, Stealth Rock came in, I can just encore this thing again. But turns out I was locked in. I couldn't encore it, so I was forced to go Arbok here. That's why I think I should not use Pickpocket in matchups like these, where the opponent can definitely have a choice locked item and that would mess up my Tinkerton set. So yeah, that's a lesson I think I gotta learn from this. But anyway, went into Arbok, they DD'd. I immediately decided to Dragon Tail. They clicked Substitute. I got a Dragon Tail crit here, broke the substitute. Now, I don't know if they were like bulky or anything. If they were bulky, then I think the Dragon Tail crit mattered. But if there's just standard max speed, max attack, then yeah, Dragon Tail breaks the sub. So like, yeah, depends on their set, that I don't know. But yeah, anyway, Dragon Tail broke the sub. For some reason, they DD'd again, despite the fact that I was clicking Dragon Tail. I mean, I'm not gonna switch moves, so yeah, I just faced the Gouging Fire out. Keldeo came in once again, decided to sack Rotom. Rotom is pretty useless. It's only here to take a hit from Keldeo so that I can get a safe switch into my Basculegion. And this time I just decided to Tera Ghost and spam Shadow Ball because the job is done, right? Everything is weakened. Now we just need to spam. Tentacruel goes out. Meowscarada came in. I switched out into my Arbok, intimidated this thing. They knocked off. Okay. And next turn they decided to click Triple Axle, but unfortunately only got 2 hits, so Arbok survived. And I got a T-Spike up, which it's not that necessary at this point, but like it's cool, right? Oh wow, I forgot about this turn. They actually only got a single hit next turn too, so I was able to Dragon Tail the Meowscarada. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. But yeah, I think the job was done. Like, even if they had knocked the Arbok out and T-Spike didn't go up, I don't really need it. I would have just gone Tinkerton, forced them out, clicking Gigaton. And yeah, like, it would have been fine. But yeah, it's just funny that they missed Triple Axle twice. Weren't able to KO Arbok. Yeah, Sack Tusk on the Gigaton, got 2 T-Spikes up. Very unnecessary, but I guess I was feeling greedy. And brought Iron Bundle, spammed Hydro Pump. They stayed paralyzed here. If they click, I guess they can't click Gigaton twice in a row, so they probably Thunder Waved, but I don't think it mattered at this point because I just needed to spam moves, chip everything down. Because everything is, as I said, everything is in range of Shadow Ball from Basculegion. So like just getting a 1 Hydro Pump on Tinkerton and getting paralyzed after doesn't matter because like, yeah, once that Hydro Pump hits, Tinkerton, Basculegion sweeps. Here, now, because I know Bundle would KO the Keldeo, it would also KO Gouging Fire. I wanted to make use of Basculegion, you know. That's Basculegion only got a single KO, that was Tentacruel. I wanted to feature that mod more. So I doubled to Basculegion, expecting them to Secret Sword. Yeah, I wanted to use the mod. And yeah, Shadow Ball this thing and Shadow Ball the Gouging Fire next turn as well. Finally getting a Basculegion sweep, at least. At least. This was the round 6 game. I had a pretty nice conversation with my opponent after the game as well. Shout out to OhioGengar. Just talk about sets and stuff. It was pretty good. It was nice to just talk with them. So round 7, my opponent was Shellymonic, and as you can see on the screen, they have a Raging Bolt. They also have a Raging Bolt that can terrestrialize Iron Threads. That could be a annoying sort of a check to my own Raging Bolt, and they also have Meow that can resist Thunderclap. So to kind of cover for those 2 Pokemon specifically, because everything else doesn't really want to deal with Raging Bolt, like Thunderbolt hits everything neutrally or super effectively. So I decided to go with a Tera Blast fighting Raging Bolt here, because I thought, it would be cool to get rid of Meow and Threads immediately with this mon, as those are the only 2 answers. So yeah, that was my whole game plan. Decided to outspeed Rotom Heat, like a no speed Rotom Heat, and rest in HP. Pretty standard Raging Bolt. Next mon I added in my team was a Iron Bundle, because like this is kind of a core, right? Iron Bundle is always that Pokemon that ends up breaking the opponent's team for your sweeper to do the job. So this is what Iron Bundle is doing here as well. At first I was kind of settling on a Scarf Iron Bundle because I really wanted to just get rid of Mia, but I realized like I'm using Tera fighting Raging Bolt anyway. I also planned on putting Arbok too, so like I figured it would be better to have Encore to prevent like a Calm Mind Raging Bolt, like maybe it's Tera Bug, Tera Fairy, it just starts setting up Calm Minds. I can't really do anything to that if I'm Scarf, so Encore helps with that. Encore also helps against Mass Spread, like a Rabsca, carving, setting up. Like I was pretty worried about carving, and actually that mon can be a threat. Like calm mind, iron defense, rest, body press or something like that would be pretty annoying. Or just like moonblast, body press, rest or chesto or something, that would be insanely bad. So yeah, that's why I wanted to have Encore. Next thing I added, as I said, Arbok to counter Meowscarada. Physically defensive Arbok. I just love this Pokemon. This Pokemon is great. T-Spike, because they have 0 T-Spike absorbers in their team, so this is going to be pretty good. Despite the fact that they have Threads, Masprit, Rotom Heat that don't get affected by this T-Spike, but yeah, it would be still good. I decided to add Haze for 1 second carving. I was really worried about carving. Dragon Tail, if anything other than carving tried to set up, I can just phase them out, or like even phase Iron Treads out on like a predicted switch. And Poison Fang, because I wanted to make sure I get a guaranteed poison or something. I've been using Gunk Shot, but like, yeah, it's not worth it because it's not like the damage doesn't change that much. It's not like Arbok can do a ton of damage just because you're running Gunk Shot, it can't. So getting a 50% chance to badly poison the opponent is pretty good, right? Especially because I thought they would be easily rapid spinning T-Spikes because they have Iron Treads, right? And I'm not gonna use Basculegion as a spin blocker. So yeah, they'd be able to rapid spin pretty easily with Red, so I figured, having another thing that can just poison something would be pretty good. Next thing I added in my team was a physically defensive Great Tusk, mainly for Iron Reds. It's a Iron Red check. As I said, Arbok is kind of a free switch in for Tread. Arbok is kind of a free turn for Treads. Treads can come in and do its thing, not worry about anything Arbok can do. So that's why a physically defensive Tusk that can chip it down if it tries to rapid spin, if it tries to knock off. And body press with max defense is insanely powerful. Knock off so that I can knock off items on like Mesprit, something that would come out on Tusk. And finally Roar so that I can phase out once again Carbink, or even a Raging Bolt, like a Tera Bug Raging Bolt trying to use Tusk as setup. That would be pretty annoying. So like roaring that thing out is huge. Next Pokemon in my team was Tinkaton. It's a standard specially defensive Tinkaton to handle Raging Bolt mainly, Mesprit as well. Stealth Rock Encore Gigaton is pretty standard. I'm running more speed, enough speed to outspeed Modest Raging Bolt because I was kind of worried about like taunt Raging Bolt, so I wanted to make sure I encore it before it can taunt me. And finally, as third move, at first I was going for knockoff, but I decided to go with Bulldoze because of Rotom Heat. An offensive Rotom Heat is actually a really big threat to my team. I realized that, started worrying about it, so I figured, Oka Berry with Mold Breaker Bulldoze will be able to deal with this Rotom Heat to some extent, because like it's a tempting switch in, right? Rotom Heat would most likely be a dedicated switch in to Tinkaton from them. So just being able to take that overheat and then bulldoze it, because of Mold Breaker I can hit it, it's 4 times super effective. It can two-shot it with doing 50%, and like it's a roll for like a max HP Rotom, but an offensive Rotom it's a guaranteed 2-shot. And I also lower their speed, right? So like they will become slower than me unless they're Scarf, which I'll know, like it will also be info, so which is pretty good. Finally, decided to add Basculegion again, this time a physical version, male version of Basculegion, because this is the only variant that I had not used in my team. So I figured, it's finally time to give this Mon a chance. It also helps with Aquajet being able to hit like Treads and Rotom Heat and pretty like super effectively, right? Just revenge killing them. Wave Crash seemed pretty good against their team, just obliterating even resistances. I didn't plan on terraing this. I always plan on terraing Raging Bolt, but like yeah, Wave Crash would be pretty cool. And as fourth move, instead of going Fender Force, I decided to go Shadow Ball because I thought like Fender Force would be annoying. Now I think I should have gone with Fender Force, which you'll see in the game too. Like Fender Force would have definitely been better than Shadow Ball. I don't know, this just wasn't useful at all in the game. Anyway, yeah, this is the team, and let's move on to the replay. As you can see, opponent did not bring Rabsca or even Carving, so that was kind of a relief. I was really glad that Carving was not on my screen. I once again decided to lead Iron Bundle because that's like the fastest Pokemon, right? So I always lead with it. Try to utilize the turn. If they don't lead with Meowscarada, I can do a lot with this thing. So yeah, unfortunately they did lead with Meow. I decided to switch out because Arbok is my dedicated answer. They switched out to fearing like a Sash, Rindoberry, Scarf, or maybe they just weren't Scarf themselves, so they just switched out in front of Iron Bundle. Anyway, Mesprit came out on our Arbarkers. They went Rotom Heat, doubled into Mesprit. I decided to get T-Spike up, as I said, they don't have absorbers. Went into Tinkaton, they got Stealth Rock up, I get my Stealth Rock up as well. They U-turned into Iron Treads. I doubled into Tusk, as that's my answer to this thing. They spun, took Rocky Helmet Chip. Now I honestly wasn't expecting this. They decided to bring Steel Beam Treads, which obliterated my Tusk, as you see, it did 66%. While team building, this set kinda did not cross my mind. I completely forgot about this tech. So like I have to admit my opponent out prepped me kinda, in the team builder. Like this was a huge setback for me. Losing Tusk was big. I was able to rapid spin the Stealth Rock and eventually was able to get rid of Threads as well, as they just knocked me out with Earth Power, and I decided to go Basculegion and Aqua Jet this. But yeah, like losing Tusk, I didn't feel good about it. I think it was pretty bad. Anyway, Meowscarada came out. I went into my Arbok dedicated answer. They went doubled into Rotom Heat again. They kept doing that, and here's the reason why, because they wanted to Tera Blast Ground, which got a KO on my Arbok. So this turn was bad, but it gave me info because I calced it, and non-special attack Rotom Heat would not have KO'd my Arbok. So this certifies that they're max special attack, max speed, kinda, right? They could be Scarf, they could be Specs, or they could just be like Boots or something. But yeah, they are specially attacking. So keeping that in mind, I decided to go Iron Bundle, because even if they're Scarf, Tera Blast Ground is not KOing Bundle, and if they're not Scarf, I can just KO them with Ice Beam. So yeah, I clicked Ice Beam, did a ton of damage to Mesprit, decided to click it again expecting them to Stealth Rock, but they instead Healing Wished. Raging Bolt came out. I know Raging Bolt just doesn't die to a single Ice Beam, so I had to go my Tinkaton. They clicked Volt Switch, so I this was kind of a bad turn for me. I was kind of fixated on Calm Mind Booster Energy sets, Calm Mind Leftover sets. I didn't really think about a Volt Switch, just a bulky pivot Raging Bolt. So this was pretty bad for me, taking that Volt Switch here, bringing Rotom Heat. But I stayed in because I had the tech, right? Okaberry, I wasn't really worried about overheat, so decided to just go with Gigaton. They clicked Tera Blast. I survived that as well. Got the hit. They here actually revealed that they were non-scarfed, which was quite funny. I feel like my opponent should not have done that, but still they revealed that, which was pretty good for me, because now I can freely go Basculegion because it's faster and just flip turn out. They decided to go Palafin. This lets me bring Iron Bundle out and just click a Freeze Dry, which they sacked Palafin to. Pretty cool. Decided to go Raging Bolt. I decided to Ice Beam, and for some reason my opponent clicked Dragon Pulse, I guess expecting Raging Bolt in general, which turned out to be pretty good for me because I was able to Encore them next turn into Thunderclap. Right, and I decided to keep going, though now in hindsight I think I should have utilized this turn and went Raging Bolt and set up with it. At that time I didn't think it was necessary. I thought they would switch out instead of just doing this Thunderclap thing. So yeah, I kept clicking Encore, they kept clicking Thunderclap, and finally the Encore ended and they decided to switch out. I clicked Encore again. This was fine for me because their Healing Wish was neutralized and I got a KO for free. They went Raging Bolt again. I got greedy here and clicked Encore again. Unfortunately, they clicked Volt Switch. If I had just Ice Beam, this game was over. But yeah, Meowscarada came out. I went into my Raging Bolt, finally bringing out the Tera Fighting tag, which honestly did not wasn't as useful as I thought it would be. Tera Fairy, I feel would have probably been better or something. Anyway, got the KO on Meow. They went into Raging Bolt. I decided to attack, but they Thunderclap. Now Basculegion came out. And at this point, I know this is a bulky AV Raging Bolt because Iron Battle Ice Beam didn't do anything. I also didn't have Phantom Force, right? So at this point I was I lost the game. I'm out of the tournament. It's gonna be 3 losses. I'll be eliminated. I literally had GG typed out in my chat. I was gonna press enter. But then I said to myself, Let's see if I can get crit. Like out of nowhere, I just like I was going to just press enter on the GG, but yeah, just out of nowhere, my mind told me, let's see if I can get a crit. And I clicked wave crash and bam, I got a crit. Yep, I got a crit. I got a crit on the final turn, winning the game. As I said, this tournament has been very rewarding for me, very fortunate for me. I have been extremely lucky, and this is another instance of that. Now, if they had just clicked Thunderclap, this Basculegion would have died. But I get that they don't know if I'm naughty, if I'm not bulky, if I'm like Scarf. They don't know my set, so I get why they didn't Thunderclap and decided to just take the move, survive it, and KO Basculegion with Thunderbolt. But at the same time, like it's also true that Phantom Force I think would have KO'd them. If I had Phantom Force, it would have KO'd them. So not clicking Thunderclap also kind of is technically a weird play, because unless they're max HP, max defense, which I don't know if they were, Phantom Force would have KO'd them for sure. It's an adamant adaptability Phantom Force. It would have KO'd them. So like not clicking Thunderclap would have meant like they would die. But yeah, I didn't have Phantom Force. I had to click Wave Crash and luckily I got a crit. And I was so surprised that I literally typed, oh my god, in my chat. Like this was a genuine reaction at that time. Like I literally typed, oh my god, seeing that I just got a crit on the final turn. And I felt bad about them too, losing like that always sucks. I mean, I know, HPL, right? Nightmares. But yeah, they also said that crit was a role too, so I guess they were like definitely bulky. I don't know if they were max defense or something, but yeah, definitely max HP for sure. I think it was max HP for sure. I guess this was not the day I go out, right? So yeah, still alive in the tournament. 5-2, round 8 will be out soon. And I kind of have to play that game earlier this week because I'll be busy at the end of the week and like the last couple of days of this month. So yeah, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You should check out the rest of the draft games. The playlist will be on your screen, so check them out. I'll see you all there. Goodbye.